Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Part of the Pride Aston Villa Women podcast, and we are here today to celebrate back-to-back wins for the very first time this season, and we just can't wait. Who do we think we are, winning 2 weeks in a row? But of course I can never do this by myself, joined by 3 wonderful people this evening. How are we all? Are we good?
Hi. Probably.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, shall we? We will see. Gary will be joining us at some point, we think. So if anyone hears a little noise, just let me know and I'll try and let him in. Now, where to start? The first half was probably the better of the halves, apart from those last 10 minutes. So let's start there. Now, Emily and Nick, you were both at the game, I believe. But it was a tale of 2 villas again, wasn't it? Because the first half, great, everyone happy. Second half, we could probably do with forgetting. So, so for you, how do we feel about this new look front 3? How did it feel in that first half? Emily, if you want to start us off.
I was quite glad that it was mostly the same lineup. It was the same lineup as the Liverpool game.
Yes.
Paola wasn't available. We still don't really know why. Maybe she was ill or something. I'm not sure. But she wasn't in the matchday squad. But I liked that we'd kept it consistent.
Yeah.
I guess we'll probably talk about it more, but the whole Kirsty Hansen not starting thing and her slightly different role that she's playing now. We'll probably cover that later. But I like that we're seeing more of Missy Kearns because I think she is improving. And I think that's all to do with what Natalia said about trying to build for the future. Which is your point, which I've just entirely stolen.
That's mine.
But it's been hard with Missy Kearns as well, isn't it? Because we've seen what she can do for the under-23s, but then sometimes in the actual league that doesn't quite translate it, and there's been maybe more errors than positivity. But yeah, you're right. She looked more threatening.
It's just occurred to me that maybe it's also coincided with Jordan not playing. And I wonder if they're sort of like maybe she feels that she's got more freedom to sort of dictate the play when she's the one, rather than it all coming from the back four, then through Jordan and she's deciding where it all goes. Like, I know obviously we've had stand back as well, so maybe not, but just maybe feels like she's been given a bit more of a license to just see what happens rather than
to actually be a bit more creative.
Yeah.
And see what she can do. Yeah, because I think in some ways as well, if you've got Jordan on the pitch, you've got Lucy Stan on the pitch, maybe kind of you look to them for that direction and you look to them for those signals to kind of spur you on. Whereas if they're not there, you can be the one doing that. Because Emma, we spoke last week, didn't we, about the importance of having Lucy Stan back and starting and fit. But of course, we haven't heard Nick. What do you think about Lucy Stan being back?
Well, you know how I feel about set piece takers, so.
And for those new to the pod who may not know,
consistency on the pitch is just. I mean, we saw why we missed her set pieces from the goal that we had, the first goal that we had.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't think she's still quite where she used to be. The last couple of matches, I think we've not seen everything that she can do. I don't think she's been as physical the last couple of matches as she has been in the past. Maybe a little bit scared of getting a niggle again. But as far as like executing precise balls, we've missed that.
Yes. And we've missed that element of being clinical and missed that confidence as well. So you're absolutely right. So this first goal then, so we dominated that first half, which was quite nice, that we were in control. And then a free kick comes in. Initially, it hits the crossbar, Kopp goes for it, doesn't she? And as it comes back down, Patsy being the only one in the box, again, we've talked about this issue before, only one in, and she's the one to convert it. Emma, what was that feeling like when we actually took the lead? I know you were on holiday, but from the reactions you were getting through and the notifications, how did you feel that we went in front?
Well, I was watching it. I ended up resorting to my hotspot because the hotel Wi-Fi was so bad.
That's dedication. Well
and
done.
Literally, it was so bad that everyone was like one entire pixel, so I couldn't even see what was going on.
It was a massive game of Minecraft.
It was just a blob on the screen. Yeah. So I saw it and I wasn't expecting it to land. Like, I thought it was going out. So then for Pat, I saw Patsy there and I was like, okay. And then she headed it straight in the net and I was like, okay, like, maybe we could do this. Like, I wasn't going to get too optimistic because we were still in the first half.
Was it a fluke or could we actually keep it?
Because we've had a few Patsy goals and we've still like either drew or lost from them. So I was like, let's not get too optimistic here.
Yeah.
But it was a really good goal. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was so good.
And of course, it was her birthday goal as well. And we got the celebration with her and Maz when she was blowing out the candles. I think there's got to be like a competition now between all the clubs of who can do the best goal celebration. Because for a while, Chelsea fans were convinced that it was their players that could do it. But hey, maybe if we score a few more, we can get a bit more practice in.
We did sing Happy Birthday.
We did, yeah.
Or sort of shout sing it. Incredibly out of tune.
Honestly, your videos are the best thing ever in the world because the lovely Emily we see here, who could be quite reserved, quite nice, quite nicely spoken, just turns into this banshee again. And it's phenomenal.
Absolute reprobate. Makes me look tame.
I was going to say, is that you've got a rule to yourselves? Because everyone's like, nope. Not going there.
They sit behind me at Villa Park and all I can hear every so often is like shouting at the ref or shouting at the players and I'm like, oh no, that's Nick and Emily.
That actually wasn't happening at Tottenham.
Oh my goodness,
I didn't keep shouting, it's offside! at the lino.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, we just looked, Tracy was sat next to me and Tracy was just like what even? It was so bad. Tracy actually had a theory that she was like a trainee lino and she was taking instruction from the lino on the other side of the pitch. Like, because there was that much hesitation on all of the decisions she was making. She was like,
oh, that's not good. No, and you just say we want to be in a position where we trust the officials, don't we? But some make it really hard. Really hard to do that.
And we had Kirsty Dow was the fourth official again. Words.
Oh.
We have a theory that she's either injured or secretly pregnant.
Because why didn't we have her as the referee?
Why anyone would put Stacey Fullix as a referee over Kirsty Dow?
Well, that's the thing. Hey, get another strongly worded letter out. Get your opinion. Or just get Emily to scream it. Just they'll hear it. Wherever they are in the country, they will hear.
I remember talking about Patsy's goal. I remembered what tangent we went off of.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. That's very
a happy birthday. Hey, people watch this for entertainment. That's what it is. Not even 10 minutes in and we've had our first tangent.
I'm so pleased that she scored.
Me too.
Literally her entire family were in the stands.
Yeah, both of her brothers
and everything. So it was
incredible.
Oh.
See, birthday celebrations all around. That made it. And the fact that we kept it was 1-0 going in at half time and you thought, Spurs haven't really turned up. This could be quite good. This could be quite nice. And then
you said earlier, you said the word control, and I thought we did control the first half quite well.
Yeah,
I thought so too.
I think like 10 minutes before we went in, I literally turned around and said to you, "We're not keeping this lead." It
just
did
before
go
half time, yeah.
Well, you just had a feeling it was going to slip. Well, it didn't slip too soon. We did keep it for quite a while.
We managed to get a second in. I mean, that never usually happens.
Exactly. And we actually went, let's just take a moment for the time that we were 2-0 up and we were winning, and we were getting the 3 points, and it was a wonderful time. Of course, the second goal came from Ebony Salmon, and I was watching it, and she'd had a couple of chances before, hadn't she? But nothing had really stuck, nothing had really worked. And then I was saying, where's the speed gone? You know, where's that Ebony that we know that can just completely go through the defense? And there she was. She finally did it. Hit the jetpack button and got through the defense to make it 2-0. Now, at that point, Emily and Nick inside the stadium, did it feel like we could keep it now at 2, or was there still that belief, as we saw actually happened, that it could slip?
I thought Ebony's goal was against the run of play quite a lot, and we didn't come out very well in the second half. Like, Spurs were all over us the first
it was like
few minutes of the first half.
It was Rach kind of attacking from a defending position that gave it to Ebony, wasn't it? So, like, I'd say there was a lucky ball and a lucky goal.
Like, Ebbs did really well to finish it. But I don't know if it... I was still quite worried that... Because even after we'd scored, Spurs were, like, straight back on it. And I'm always worried that we're just going to, especially with a 2-goal cushion, just be like, oh, we'll just not play how we've been playing and sit back.
We are best in the league at losing after being ahead, so we can never be too confident.
Commentators always love to throw that in whenever we're in a slightly decent position. They're like, well, do you remember that Villa are first in the league for throwing their lead away? So, thanks. Don't jinx it. That's the last thing we need as a commentator's curse.
The higher you are, the harder you fall.
Yeah, we're quite well aware of that.
Yeah, we're not here to be glory hunters. Like, we know exactly what can happen. But then, of course, the inevitable happened, because, like you said, Spurs stepped up and Jessica Naz did what she did best. She was a threat all game pretty much, wasn't she? But it clicked into gear for her to get one back. And you thought, are they going to do it again? And unfortunately, they did. And we need to talk about it. I don't want to, but we need to. We just want to start this off by saying we really love Sabs. We do. As a person, we really, really do. But it's not the first time that this has happened. And Nick is going to argue with me. You don't know what I'm going to say yet.
You started off with the start of a shit sandwich, so I know that you're going to insult her.
I just think... Okay, I'll rephrase the question. What should she have done in that situation? Should she have just waited? No, I'll rephrase that. Would it have been better? Because Maz was coming in, wasn't she? So it was Maz versus Ella Morris. I think Maz may have got there, or she would have at least put enough pressure on to get that angle a bit further out. What was that, sorry?
Maz was on a yellow. If I was Sabs in that position and it was 1v1 with my defender on a yellow, my other defenders,
they were.
Let's mention the fact that they were completely not in their positions at that point.
Oh, yeah, awful.
Terrible. I would have gone for the ball as well, because it was either I go for the ball or I risk Maz getting a second yellow because she has to put in a tough challenge.
Because she has to do it. Okay. Yeah. Are we all in agreement with that? Not really in the situation that was the best.
I don't think anyone other than me is in agreement.
Maybe it was we were sat like right in line basically with where she was. So,
everyone
in the moment, it seemed like she was quite far out of her box, but it seemed like it was miles and miles. It seemed like she was basically at the halfway line, which actually she wasn't.
Yeah. It looked miles away, to be fair.
I mean,
and I think that might have...
I was like, what are you doing? And
I
now
don't think it helped that everyone in our stand was, Sam, what are you doing?
Yeah. Anytime after that, basically, when she was like a meter off her line, they'd be like, get back and go.
Yeah, I feel for her. If she could hear the fans, I feel for her that game.
And it's so tough, isn't it? Because as a goalkeeper, you're absolutely right. You've got a decision to make, and you're not always going to get it right. And as we saw, she mistimed it, and I do love that Sophie's gone.
Well, yeah, in an ideal situation.
Okay, so we can look at it two ways. We can look at it as she came out, she got it wrong. Fair play. Ella Morris, did the job, she got it done. Or you can look at it as it's not the first time she's done it. Therefore, could there be more training, maybe different training involved to just make her have that awareness to maybe make the right decision more often? Or is it time to actually look at our goalkeeper situation? Again, planning for the future. No, not at all.
I said to you, didn't I? I said that, like, when you see training footage at the minute at Bollymore, Ebbs and Caitlin are on a different field. Not Ebbs. What do I call her? Ebbs? Sabs and Caitlin are on a different field doing goalkeeper training. Yeah. They need to be training with the back line because that's where the issue is. It's Sabs clearly doesn't trust her back line.
And also they're so high up.
And sometimes she has every right to not trust her back line because they're not in position.
They're never there. Yeah, that's the problem.
And like we said, Sabs is not completely to blame for that. Like, the defence were nowhere to be seen because they weren't expecting that ball over the top, were they? And again, that's the danger of playing so high up. That's so much space behind for these things to happen. Okay, so with our goalkeeper situation, and I know if Gary was here, we'd be talking about getting Sophia Pua back and, making sure, she's got a decent shout. Do we think, I know Caitlin's only temporary to the end of the season on loan. Do we think there's any possibility there of her staying? Or, because she's floated around a bit, hasn't she, the last couple of seasons and not really done much, unfortunately for her, curse of goalkeeper sometimes. But
for her game, it would be better for her development, surely. She needs to go to a club where she's going to play week in, week out. Which, even if she stays at Villa, isn't going to happen.
I think she needs to go down.
No, she'd just end up being a cup keeper.
And you're never going to improve like that, are you? So,
no. I think, get her to the Championship. Get her a good season in the Championship because there's some cracking strikers and, brilliant experience there. Because again, to not be playing to then go into the WSL is a massive jump, isn't it? So, and as Sophie says, Caitlin just seems to be an extra body in training, practice some drills and things like that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see Natalia's big plans for the summer.
I would like to see Sophia. I mean, definitely come back. I don't want to see her stay in London City.
Come back.
She's not played at London City, so there's no kind of, why would she want to stay there if she's not getting minutes?
Maybe we're just shedding off bits for parts, right?
And again, she's not getting minutes with us, so
yeah, it's sad. I would really, really like Sophia to come back because again, she did such a job when she came on, and we were relying on her so much.
I think we should have done more already, but we definitely need like a second keeper because they clearly don't. When Sabs got injured, in that, what was it, when she injured Man City? I don't remember.
No, it was the game before Man City, and then they played it in Man City.
Like, if we had a number 2 that they had faith in, they would have played her in that match.
Yeah, because we all kind of said, didn't we? Why is she playing?
Yeah. And it's not, they've sort of put Sabs in this position where, like, she has to play regardless of if she's in form or if she's feeling a bit shit because she's, because, I mean, let's be honest, we've conceded so many goals this season. It's got to be a bit disheartening. But she hasn't had any.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard being a keeper with no peripheral vision as well.
Yeah.
Which is probably another reason why she's coming out of her goal, because she.
That's it.
I just think Villa have done her a bit dirty by not having enough squad depth.
Oh, yeah. Safeguarding our keeper has been terrible.
Yeah. Because even if you look at like Everton, like Emily Ramsey's just come back from long-term injury, and the fact that she can go up against Courtney Brosnan and they've got those two solid keepers to rotate between, I'd love to be in a situation like that. So my next question is going to be, so we're not replacing Sabs, don't worry. But in addition to, could we poach someone like Yanez for Crystal Palace?
No.
We watched that game last night.
No.
Yeah, but that's Chelsea. That's Chelsea. That's a different kettle of fish.
They were bad goals, though.
Okay, who would you like to see come in? I mean, I'd really like Shemek from West Ham, but I don't think that would happen.
I mean, everyone knows.
Shemek.
Everyone knows I'm a Bagley fan.
Okay.
Ooh.
You think she might be tempted or could be tempted?
Not starting anymore, is she?
Well,
That's true.
watch this space then. I would quite like Robbie Salvador, but I doubt we're going to get her. Cracking saves in Liga FA at the weekend. But yeah, so okay, so we're not replacing Sabs, but are we in agreement? We need another second trusted solid goalkeeper.
At least a second, yeah. I wouldn't mind a third.
There we go. Yeah, second, third, even a fourth. Hey, get them all.
I'd have a trusted second and bring Sophia back as our trusted third.
Yes,
that'd be
as
mine.
long as we rotate.
When we had
Happy with that.
and Leety and Paul.
Oh, those are the days.
Yeah.
Back in the day of dreaming.
Board players.
I was going to say, can we just have a moment of that? Hannah Hampton was our goalkeeper, and just look where she is now. See, we
make Champions League goalkeepers. That's what we do.
We do.
We make them and we lose them,
and lose them to everyone else. Yeah. If we could stop that,
that means Sabs will probably go to City next year, then, just to United.
No, we need to. Also, apparently, someone told me this on the pod last night. Apparently, United, some United fans have been taking credit for Kirsty Hansen's winner. Saying,
because they made Kirsty Hansen.
Yeah,
but they didn't play her.
Well, this was my argument. So yeah. Hey. We'll get onto that. That's going to be one of our next talking points. So, of course, that was Ella Morris who got the equaliser for 2-2 in the 70th minute. So we've got 20 left to play. And you think, right, we've seen things go better. We've seen things go a lot worse. Is there time? Can we do anything with this? Kirsty Hansen comes on the minute after that equaliser goes in. So let's talk about it now. And we had a couple of questions. So thank you if you commented on our post about, what do you want us to talk about this week? Because a lot of the comments were about Kirsty Hansen and her new role within the team going forward, where she suits. You could argue, well, twice in 2 weeks, she's come off the bench and scored. So why change it? However, people saying, well, she should be starting in the first place. Emma, I'm going to start with you because I've got a feeling some other people might have some strong opinions in the corner. So, Emma, what do you think?
I personally think she should be starting. And why hasn't she been starting? Like, she's got such power. She's got such pace. And when we were playing her and Rach together seems to be a nice, like, it works like clockwork. And I'm liking the Daly and Ebony partnership as well at the moment. So I feel like if you put Kirsty Hansen in that situation as well, like, it would only be so much better. So I don't understand why she isn't starting. But then again, at least she's getting game time at this point. Like, yeah, I'm not going to argue that she's not just sitting on the bench for 90 minutes.
So space.
But yes, I'd like to see her start.
Yeah, because if you wanted to put all, like if we wanted Rach, Ebony, I wouldn't take Chastity off because she's been playing really well.
Yeah.
And then, but if you wanted Kirsty to play in this system, then she'd have to play wing back, which is what like Maz is currently doing. And I don't know if.
Yeah.
I suppose that's why she's like not starting her there, because you're sort of wasting her in like, you want to solely focused on attack rather than like split between attack and defense, maybe.
Yeah, because Martin on Twitter said, worrying how easily Spurs got back to 2-2. Seeing some criticism of South for the second goal, but we've talked about that. But the high press left her exposed again. Mazza's gain is Kirsty's loss. Are wing backs going to be our formation from now on? And what does that mean for Kirsty's future? So yeah, so that ties into what you're saying. Nick, go on then.
Right.
Go on.
I actually agree with having Kirsty as a sub.
I think it's working.
Okay.
I mean, it works.
It's like, I know it's only looking at the statistics, the stats of 2 games, but she scored 2 league goals for us.
Yeah.
And that's these last 2 weeks. She is an absolutely fantastic winger and she can run with the ball, but the issue has always been that there's been no one to give it to. So when she is coming on as a more central sub, she can run and she can then shoot with it.
Yeah.
And she's coming on when everyone else is tired. Like with like Rachel's getting on, that sounds awful, but like she's not going to be a 90-minute player forever. She's getting older. Gabby's not got the speed or the run in her to be a second striker. Ebbs is kind of starting with Rachel now, so Kirsty makes sense to come on as a substitute striker.
Yeah, because I think a few people were talking about, being more central. Is that where she's now suited? Is that where Natalia sees her, where she wants to kind of mold her into that position? Because we talked about her post-match, didn't we, in our chat, and we said, it sounds like Kirsty's saying, I want to start, get me in that lineup. And she's going, yeah, but I've got a plan for you. So the question is, and Jonathan had this on Twitter as well. I said, my biggest concern is why, when wins are so absolutely crucial, Hansen isn't starting. Pretty much everyone outside the club, from pundits, commentators, fans of other teams, and us, see it. Just because she can do the impact sub thing doesn't mean she should. So, has anyone got any comments on that? Because Nick, you're right, it's working. She's coming on when people are tired. She's got that pace. She's got that energy. But ultimately, is she only going to be a sub in this team now, or should there be a bit of rotation at least?
I think she's interchangeable with Ebb. I think both have got the ability to start, and both have got. But that's the only person I could see her starting over, because we've agreed the wings maybe isn't the right place for her. So Ebbs is the only other option. I don't think we're ready to take Rachel off yet.
No.
Especially with 2 assists in the last match. Like, she might not be striking, but she's kind of finally adapted to this number 10 role that we forced her into, and she's actually becoming a playmaker, even though we've essentially given that role to Missy now. But like we're not ready to take Rachel off yet because she is setting up goals. Ebbs is Kirsty's a power sub. They're both good at starting. I think
Ebbs definitely plays better centrally as well.
Yeah.
Which is why she's been played the last couple of games.
It depends what's going on behind the scenes. Like, they know who's going to want a contract extension and who isn't. Surely they know who's getting scouted.
Yeah.
They know by now.
So if it means giving Ebbs the starts because Kirsty's not interested anymore, then give Ebbs the starts.
Well, that's the thing, because everyone kind of panicked a bit when Kirsty put on her Instagram about picking up routes and going and things like that. So maybe these are conversations that the club's having. Like we said, they probably are. They should be at this point, because we've got a lot of contracts up this summer, haven't we? And you'd hope, with only a couple of games left, that we might hear something. What do we think? Are we going to hear something before the end of the season, or are we going to hear it after? What do people think?
I reckon
after. Halfway through the transfer window.
Before we start back.
They'll do like one contract extension for a player that
we already know.
that we
like Missy or something.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know. They'll do like a 1-year contract extension for Corsi or something.
Yeah.
And then everything.
But we don't want that one. We want the other ones to
Corsi. I love Corsi. I really hope she makes a matchday squad before the end of the season.
If not, she can find
too.
it.
Yeah.
She's a qualified accountant.
Well, there we go.
Maybe she can be in charge of hiring players because she actually knows what we can spend.
Hey, honestly, get her in that backroom stuff. But yeah, I do hope she can be announced as part of the squad before the end of the season, because she, even just to have her in and around the team, I know she's back in training, I know she's on the grass, but just again to have that experience and that personality is
so much football knowledge as well.
She's so intelligent.
Yeah.
She is a massively intelligent player.
Yeah, and you just think, what again, the what ifs. If she was fit, if she was, in and around.
It just gives you an option, and we've been like at the very start of the season. I remember we were like, "Oh look, we've got 2 players for every position." Yeah. And it's just how rapidly that changed.
We now have no defenders, like none.
Well, this is what we said on Sunday, wasn't it? Like the only defender we've signed since 2 summers ago was Noelle.
And then we realised that Paula exists as well.
Oh yeah, and Paula.
We forgot Paula.
It's because she was.
Yeah, I forgot that we'd signed Paula. Like,
so we haven't there's nothing.
2 seasons ago.
It was overshadowed by Gabby, wasn't it? Paula. So coming on to someone else who's been absent quite recently, Jordan. So no Jordan within the team. I don't think we've heard anything about.
We nearly had Jordan. Jordan, Jill, and Dan were warming up.
Oh yeah.
And then they brought Kirsty on instead.
Were they warming up when we were still 2-0 up? I can't remember.
They were warming up when we were 2. I think.
Yeah, when we were still ahead.
Changed their mind when
Spurs equalised, and then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or was it? It might not have been Kirsty. It might have been.
Well, Kirsty came on for Miri.
Jill.
And Jill came on for Ed.
I can't remember.
I thought those were interesting.
Yeah, they changed their mind. I think they were bringing Dan on because obviously 2 of our defenders were on yellows at that point.
That was it, yeah, because I forgot. Apparently, I forget how part of our players exist most of the time. I forgot that Dan was an option, because I remember on Sunday being like,
"Who Dan?"
We were saying, "Oh, we need to defend this. We need to not let this slip or whatever." And we were like, "What could we possibly do? I don't know." There's another
Who else is on the bench?
We nearly had a Jordan. Anyway, she was warming up and then decided to concede 2 goals, and it all changed.
Yeah, but again, you'd think Jordan's the type of player that, could she have come on and done something in midfield at that point? And
I think so. I'm not sure what they changed their mind to Jill.
So.
I can't remember who. I swear. It was Jill, wasn't it? It was the 3 of them, and then they were like, actually, no, just bring Jill on. Like, she wasn't even warming up.
I don't remember. I remember us wondering why they were just doing 1 at a time.
Yeah, because Jill.
I'm still waiting for a Jordan.
Jill came on in the 80th minute. Because it was Kirsty by herself, Jill by herself, and then Gabby by herself. But even, I know Gabby was only on for a couple of minutes, but again, she was invisible, wasn't she? So yeah, that's a bit frustrating as well.
They were strange subs. Like, none of them were we took a midfielder off for essentially a striker, then we took a striker off for a midfielder, and then a midfielder off for a striker. Like, why is midfield and striker
some of them around
becoming interchangeable?
Maybe she wants like a fluid.
We need 3 strikers. No, we want 4 midfielders and 1 striker. No, we want 3 strikers. Just can't.
And no defence.
At least she can count wingers, though. So that's.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
No, only because she's suddenly decided that Maz is a winger. But
hey, as long as Maz is on that pitch, we're good. Yeah, because Maz and need to look at this visually. Hang on. Because
Chaz.
Yeah, Maz and Chaz. Sounds like a good duo.
It's all the same side.
They were really high, weren't they?
Even then, Lucy and Noelle were also pushing really high. Just a lone Patsy in the middle.
Lone Patsy. Poor Patsy. There was another tweet, and I haven't written it down. I'm really annoyed with myself. some people were saying the general gist of it was they were saying, I didn't watch it, but who did we play in defence? And we were like, oh, it was a back three. So they said, well, if Lucy was playing out more on the right for England, could she be rebranded as a right back? Because there's not a chance she's going to get into the England squad as a centre back. What do we think?
She does like to run up with the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know that's what Lucy Bronze does all the time. So, hey,
I mean,
Lucy.
There's a car as well, isn't there? There's just so much competition for all of the defensive positions, I think, for England.
Yeah.
Like, this country appears to just breed defenders.
Okay. Yeah. Useless everywhere else, but defence, we're good.
I don't know. I can't call it with Lucy. Sometimes I think she's like one of the best defenders on earth, and then other games I'm just like, why are you even on the pitch?
I mean, most players that happens with, right?
Fair, yeah. But probably not the ones in the England squad. Apart from like Laetitia, and because I don't think they should be in the England squad. But
I was going to say, not much of the England squad. Well, apart from.
I need to stop saying stuff about England players because I think that's why we conceded. I literally said beforehand, didn't I? I said Jess Niles is going to score against us because I spend my entire life saying that she's pointless and shouldn't be on the England squad, and it should be Beth England.
Yeah, and then she
and I was
managed
just
to score.
like, I can guarantee she
There
was
she is.
us and not Beth England, just to prove me wrong.
Yeah. I do have to say though, as much as we love Villa, and that's why we do this podcast, we're Villa at the end of the day. We're not Spain. We're not Belgium. We're not any of those.
Better after Beth England came on, obviously.
So much better. I don't know why they didn't start her. Who doesn't start one of their best strikers and their captain? Like,
isn't she on?
Yeah, she's still carrying a bit of a. Yeah,
I think that would explain it then.
Yeah, but Martha Thomas just looks like a shell of a player, doesn't she? At the minute, it's really.
She was so invisible.
Yeah.
I didn't really see much of her.
I tell you who did see a lot of,
Who?
and got very annoyed at Ashley Neville.
oh God!
We gave her way too much space. Like
she was a bit dominant in her bit of the pitch, wasn't she? Yeah, very annoying.
She got her elbows out.
Yes. Well,
I think rather than her elbows.
She was very studs happy. A lot. She did the same foul that Lucy Parker did.
That Lucy got yellow for. Yeah.
And
yeah.
So that's why it's more satisfying when both Kirsty and Ebony just went straight through the middle of was it her and Bartrip?
Yeah, I think so.
Just went straight through the middle. I was like, there we go. Justice.
Yeah, that's like their first goal, I think. Spurs' first goal came from it was Naz and Neville on the wing.
Probably.
And then it ended up in that goal mouth sort of ping pong.
What nationality is she?
Yeah, because they just couldn't clear it out the box, could they, for that first one? Our winner, though, however, we do just need to go back to it because it was the first minute of 6 minutes of stoppage time, and we've seen.
Oh, we played way more.
7.5.
So many.
We were shouting at the ref,
We were.
like.
Okay, it should have been 6. So yeah, first minute of stoppage time. Kirsty Hansen gets the winner, and at that moment, what did it feel like in the stadium when you were like,
so good,
sneaky on time? It was just like I don't think I've ever watched the clock. So like,
I mean, after she scored.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
yeah.
still
no.
nervy.
Then after then, I didn't feel good. That's because I just said so
nervy.
good, and
yeah,
you said squeaky one time.
So in the moment, elation of oh my god, we've won.
Yes, and then
oh god, don't lose it.
Yeah, it was oh my god, this is fantastic. But
I did think we did fairly well with. It wasn't like the same management as at Liverpool where Ebbs was it Ebbs?
Oh, when we just took it to the corner.
Yeah, but
that was
we
so funny.
did manage it quite well, I think.
Yeah, definitely much better than just taking it to the corner. I get taking it to the corner when you've got like a minute left or like a couple of minutes left. When there's like 15 minutes left on the clock.
They do really
It's funny.
Yeah.
There was a match last year when
it's nervy.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's just especially if you're sat. I think both I think we were sat in the corner for Liverpool, weren't we? We were sat in that corner.
It's just
And
seeing
so
how
when you
wound
see
up
the
the other players
frustration
get.
on their faces, like, it's so, oh my God, it's fabulous.
And then at that point, you're like, yes, Lino.
You're like, come
we love
on!
you, Lino.
It's just, I'm here for it. If it's in my corner, if it's in the other opposite corner, then no,
That's boring,
that's a tactic that I don't agree with. But if it's right in front of me and it's entertaining me, then take it to the corner. I'm here for it all day.
Okay, so when it's performed for Nick.
Yeah, basically. We need to, yeah. If it's performed for the fans, then.
Noted. Yeah, all right.
But yeah, that was so much. Honestly, it got to a point. Was there an injury in extra time? Can't remember.
Yeah, didn't someone go down? And I was like, there's like a minute left. Just get up or get off. Like, there's a minute.
Remember, like, hoping that we weren't going to try and just all stand in front of the, penalty spot and be like, oh, have as many shots as you like, Spurs, because that would be a classic Villa thing to do. And then
I was so glad they didn't. And we won. The whistle finally went, and we won.
So good.
And just 2-2. How good are we? Now, what are we going to say?
I was going to say, I don't know how much people at home saw like the after match reactions from the likes of Natalia and Maz mainly, but I've never seen a manager.
Even Rachel did like a little bit
so bouncy. Yeah. Natalia was jumping up and down and waving her arms and
we
stuff.
We were hitting the hoardings going like, we are staying up. We are staying
and Maz
up.
was like,
Maz
then Natalia started the...
What did Maz say?
She did the hey.
Maz went, Alice, hi, ho, and then we carried on.
And then Natalia was getting us to sing happy birthday to Anna Patton and jumping up and down. It was just like, you would think they just won the league.
Oh my God.
They were just the happiest bunch of people.
And that's what we've missed, isn't it? Because we know we've got those characters, we know we've got those incredible personalities, and that relationship with them, and just to have that moment when they could celebrate with us. And just really bring it back to what it is all about. And like you're saying, staying up, we're now 7 points clear of Crystal Palace. 7 points. So if they lose or draw at the weekend,
I think if they lose, we're safe, aren't we?
Yeah. If they lose, we're definitely safe. If they draw, then still a bit squeaky bum time. But
they'd have to win both of those games then.
Like I'm saying, it's not.
There's too many.
At this point, we can be happy that there's a 7 points gap, and that's what we'll hopefully cling to for our dear lives.
I reckon we'll overtake Leicester.
It's possible.
Well, let's have a look, shall we, at the matches coming up. So this weekend. Palace have got West Ham. We've seen what West Ham can do.
Some are on form lately, so
that could be interesting.
Well, West Ham have took points off most. I think it's only Arsenal that haven't took points off big club wise this season. Then Palace have got Leicester. We've got West Ham. So again, West Ham could be a bogey team for both. And then last day of the season, Palace have got Man City and we've got Brighton. So.
It's still squeaky bum, isn't it?
City might have known him that though.
City need something.
They haven't got anyone else.
They're so decimated at the minute.
I think West Ham are going to be more dangerous to our style of play than Palace's style of play. Because they've got nothing to counter-attack with Palace because they don't attack.
Yeah, Palace.
Not that we're particularly attacking, but with our back three, with a counter-attacking West Ham, could be a big mistake.
Yeah, because Iweki, Martinez, like they've got some really quick players. So if we could just do like a back seven for that match, that would be
so good if we get to that match and it won't actually matter. Like if Crystal Palace have already lost. Like, I mean, it will matter, but it won't be.
I don't want it to get to that point because will we sit back?
I don't know if it will get to that point because if we look at how Crystal Palace played against Chelsea yesterday,
What, red cards?
Exactly. They played the last half an hour on 10 men and conceded 1 goal in that time.
Yeah.
Like,
And
how many of their goals were set pieces?
yeah, one was a penalty, one was a free kick from directly outside the box, and there's only one that Chelsea scored from open play. Like, Palace did defend them.
They did. No, they did. And it just shows you, I think I said this about Chelsea and Barcelona, they're the most mortal they've ever looked this season. And that just shows other people around them. Yeah, Palace had no shots at all during the Chelsea game. Chelsea had 30.
I think they don't.
30 shots, 7 on
10. Only one came from open play.
Yeah.
That's like a Villa
Yeah,
stat.
well, 30 shots on target and 1 went in because the other 3 were set pieces.
Well, I can say for the Spurs match, let's go through some stats. Spurs had 17 shots. We had 14. Spurs had 5 on target. We had 7. So we actually had half on target. Hey, what a stat.
Yeah,
I think progress will stand.
Spurs had more possession, more pass accuracy, more passes, more yellow cards. Oh no, we have more yellow cards.
3 yellow cards, yeah.
And yeah, they actually had more corners than us, which makes a change. We normally have 20 million. We only had 2. So there we go. So yeah, what a funny game. Yeah.
Loved them both.
That's right. Yeah, I remember them both. Yeah, but they were the only 2.
They were both in the last 20 minutes as well.
Just 2. So yeah, a funny old game, but thank God for Kirsty Hansen, eh? Getting us that winner. And like we said, does take us 7 points clear of Crystal Palace in the relegation spot. Now, anything else about the game anyone would like to mention before we move on? We've talked about most things, haven't we? I think we have.
May or may not have hiccups.
Is that because you're too excited about being back on the pod? Yeah. So there was one more thing that was submitted. This was from the JN8 Gifts on Twitter, who always interacts with us, so thank you. Who said, I've been really frustrated at times this season because it seems like no one is ever in the box for a goalkeeper spill or for a bad clearance, etc. Patsy seems to be in there a lot and leads to goals. It seems simple, but let's keep people in the box. Yeah, why do you think it is that only ever seems to be Patsy in the box? Why does no one ever seem to linger?
Because Sean Goater is
They're all scared.
Terrible striker coach.
Was he seems to have disappeared a bit. Is he still knocking about?
Yeah. And they meant, Rachel said on her podcast that he's her striker coach, so he's definitely still.
There we go.
I did notice a couple of times, because they said about in that tweet that it seemed like it had improved slightly in that last game. Rachel was running in
Rachel
after.
was in her box.
Yeah, like after a shot come in from distance.
Yeah.
She was running in, up to the keeper just in case there was any.
She was doing that.
Good. Because we've been calling for it for so long, haven't we?
I think there's definitely that last game, there was a definite improvement of stuff actually going to the right place in the box rather than just, this is promising forward play and then nothing happens. Like there was a couple of times where they, like Rachel ran into a cross with the defender and they both ended up clattering into the boards. But like there was somebody looking to get on the end of a cross rather than just the cross being aimlessly into the box to nobody.
Except when they took Ebbs off.
No one being there. Yeah.
A couple of times after they took Ebbs off, someone crossed and it was like, she's gone now.
Yeah, we were like, oh no,
she's not there anymore.
She's on the
bench. Pay attention, guys. The person isn't there anymore. Yeah, but so again, we can see progress, can't we? And we can see Natalia, because obviously her coming in so late, that hasn't been that much time, has there, for her to really put a stamp on it? But it seems like they're finally settling in to what she wants and what she's getting across.
You can sort of see what they're trying to do. Like now she seems to have got to know the players a bit more and know where she wants to play them to get the best out of them for her system.
Well, especially Kirsty and Maz. She's seen something in them that other managers haven't seen, I think.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the same will be for Paola when she's back. I think she'll probably be a wing back
I
as
don't know,
well.
because we've got Sarah to come back at some point as well.
I don't know if
I wonder
Sarah's a
how they
wing back,
fit.
though.
That's what I mean. I don't know how.
Oh, yeah.
Because it makes sense, like Noelle has played at centre back before, but like she played for us at centre back last year a bit, didn't she? When
Noelle's played at every back, hasn't she?
that's what I mean. So her fitting as like
She's
part of that
interchangeable.
back three makes sense because she's played as at full back and centre back. Whereas if you like replace Noelle with Sarah in the back three, like Patsy, Lucy, and Sarah, I don't know if that's quite the same balance.
Decision.
Realistically, we're using Patsy because both the Manchester clubs are after her, so then we'll fit her in.
Well, hopefully, if we stay up, we can convince her.
I think maybe that's why Patsy's
stay.
getting all of the minutes God sends, because
Yeah, please don't leave. Like,
Okay.
stay with us.
everyone's
Like, do not leave for another club. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think Natalia's got a lot of decisions when everyone's back fit, and then she can see the gaps. And who
Unless
she
we
bring.
can like get to a point where we can adjust the system that we're playing like mid-match. But we're gonna, or one match we're gonna play with the three at the back and the wing backs, and then next week we're gonna play with four at the back again. Can you imagine if we were that
and have that seamless transition
yeah.
between different.
No
Hey,
holidays for
Yeah,
anyone.
I was. Well, I'm going to assume that when we're playing the big 4 or 5, we're not going to play a back 3 because that would just be suicide.
you'd hope so.
I would like to think that we can have multiple shapes.
Maybe we'll see on Wednesday against Arsenal. I
This
am
is
still
the
slightly
teller.
concerned about the scoreline of that game.
What a good segue. Let's talk about it, shall we now?
Yeah.
Due to Champions League, our game on Sunday has been moved, rudely, to Wednesday the 30th, which means I can't come anymore, which is really annoying.
We're gonna go.
I had hospitality tickets.
Oh, you were going
I was with that lot.
Oh,
to.
But we did get a refund in the end. So thankfully. Because yeah, no, that's a lot of money for initially not to get refunded. So unfortunately can't come anymore, which gutted about. So Arsenal has been moved to Wednesday the 30th due to Champions League, as we said. Now, Arsenal, as they are, currently second in the league table. Pretty certain they're going to get Champions League next season. However, they've got a lot to prove against Lyon. And they will have gone out there on, I think it's Sunday this week, isn't it? That the second leg. They'll have a lot to prove in that second leg. So either, if they win, hopefully they'll be shattered and there'll be a lot of rotation. If they lose, I fear the wrath of what could come. However, we know who they've got in their team and what they could possibly bring. So, Emma, I'll come to you first. We have no expectations for this match whatsoever because we know what Arsenal could do. But how do you feel going into this one?
Worried. I think I'm slightly more worried now as well because they've changed it to 6 o'clock, which means there's not going to be many home fans because we all work until at least 5, like most people do. I mean, I'm going straight from school, so luckily my school is round the corner from Villa Park. But
we will just say Emma works at school; she's not at school.
Yes, she is of age.
You are old enough to be on this podcast.
She has to stop at 9 o'clock because she's under 16.
Yeah.
I best talk quickly then.
12 hours between finishing work and starting school.
But like, there's not going to be a huge fan base. There's not going to be that like 12th man type vibe. I mean, we'll do the best we can.
Do it.
Do you know what I mean? But
Come and sit with us.
I mean, we've got Nick and Emily behind me, so
I am as
I will
loud,
have 2 Villa fans in the
not
stands.
louder than the entire band that sing the chants. So
That needs to be a pod special one week. We just set up a camera next to you two watching the game, and that's the entertainment.
It definitely needs to be after the watershed.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the fruity language coming from you two is quite funny.
Sorry, completely irrelevant to the Arsenal match. One of the I don't know what she's like, security ladies.
Oh, the one that hated us.
Yeah, she sits near us at the back of the bench.
Yeah.
And she's got like a hat and her earpiece, and she was always sort of just giving us a little like.
I thought she was giving me the evils, but she full on said hello to me.
Yeah,
at
the
the
Spurs.
Hiya, how you doing? I'm like,
At the Spurs match.
you
Yeah, she was
hated
waiting
me.
by the coach, and we were sort of just by the main entrance waiting. And she was like, "Oh yeah."
See, you've got a reputation, you two. Now.
When security's like, oh yeah, I know you.
You'll have like a profile up in their staff room, like beware of these two. Watch out for flying language. It's a once in a but then afterwards, they mean well. They just get caught up in the moment. Can't believe that. I need to get to a match and just sit next to you two. That's what I need to do. Be great. Have a great time. Okay.
Are you going to get to the Brighton match?
I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully. Yeah.
We were still talking Arsenal. You just randomly went off on a tangent.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to think. We'll make a plan. It'll be fine.
I wouldn't say confident, because this is Villa.
Yeah.
But I think like morale-wise, we're the best that we can be at the minute. Everyone's like, oh my God, we're awesome.
Yeah.
Woo! And there's been a lot of out-of-team stuff been arranged by Stan. Like she did the golf, and there's been like a quiz night and stuff. Like everyone's loving each other.
It feels a lot more cohesive, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we do have like Arsenal. They may be saying that Russo is okay. We all know that she's not.
Apparently, she had strapping on her knee.
She will be.
She was strapped.
They will be resting her after Leon, surely.
Yeah, I can't see.
They are currently playing Zinsberger. He's not renowned for being the best goalkeeper on earth, especially when it comes to anything lower than waist height.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, if we're tactical, I think we could potentially either not lose by that much or draw.
It can't get.
I'd like to just hold them. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I'd
we
like
can
it to be
hold.
close.
We've held off bigger teams.
We took the lead. Did we take the lead against them last time we played at Villa Park? Or did we scored?
That was 2
Was it?
seasons ago, wasn't it?
That was a dream.
I feel like it was a really cold December night. Like, I feel like it
That
was
sounds like
really
the start
cold.
of a story. It was one cold December night.
With
And
the
Villa getting out of Villa Park.
This is definitely.
They were late, weren't they?
The socks.
Oh.
Arsenal were late.
The socks. Yeah.
I can't remember why I was saying that. Yeah, but what I mean is we can score against them.
We can and we have. Yes, good.
It
Remember-
can't get much worse than when we played them at the Emirates this season, because that was appalling.
I
That was
have
like the last
absolutely
game.
No
that
recollection of that whatsoever.
it was.
I think that's
I attempted to live stream from the
Repression.
bench, and it was chucking it down, and nobody could see what.
Yes.
I
From the
remember
bench,
that.
from the
So what were you doing on the bench? What would we lost
like-
if you were on the subs?
It was basically level with the pitch, so you couldn't see what was happening.
I was going to say your favourite security woman let you down and was like, yeah, just sit here, it's fine.
No, it was absolutely chucking it down, and
Yeah.
obviously all of the players at the other end, because we couldn't get out of our half.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the last games that RDP was in charge of. I feel like it was.
Mm.
Doesn't it seem weird that we've had a different manager this season? That feels like a lifetime ago
Yeah, it does.
that he was there.
It's called
Yeah.
repression.
But we have this Podders therapy and it's okay. We've talked through it.
Julie's got his signature on her flag, which is very sad. She needs to get a patch over it.
Yeah. I mean, she had t-shirts printed up and everything. I think just wait. See what happens. But yeah, so I think you're right. I think after their heavy schedule coming to this point of the season, they've got injuries, they're missing their best players. Something will probably happen at the weekend. They're going to be tired. So if nothing else, let's just try and not make it like a 12-0 demolition, and let's actually try and
I would like to keep the same goal difference as Leicester, like we are at the minute.
Yeah, because what are we, -18? I think I looked earlier.
I think we're both exactly the same.
If you look at it upside down, though, it's +18.
Minuses don't turn into pluses if you turn them upside down. It turns into
they do.
It turns into 81 minus.
Well, exactly. More than -18.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Because the minus is on the other side.
Well, okay, if you look at the league upside down, then we're in second place. So, woohoo! That works. That's fine. But yeah, no, I think as long as we just give them a good game, I think we'll all be happy because, you know, we don't have an expectation of a win. Again, we'd love a point, but again, the expectation is that we're going to lose. So anything more than that would be fantastic. So yeah, I just think it's going to be an interesting one. And hopefully people can make it. But as we said, when it was rearranged, trying to get through Birmingham City Centre anytime after 3 is just horrendous. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, shall we say, for that.
It's not that far from the motor, is it?
So yeah, because when I lived in Birmingham, it took me like nearly 2 hours to go 11 miles every night. And it's just no.
It takes me 45 minutes to do about 5.
It's awful. Absolutely awful.
It's horrible.
That's an expressway. I couldn't go any other way, and it was vile.
I am just.
I don't
know. I've taken the afternoon off, so yeah, I've had to use annual leave.
And that's the thing, it's people's annual leave, people are on shifts, you know, people have rearranged it for the Sunday and all of these things. So.
Missing a massive city, like, think of a blobbly jiggy. What's it called? An event. I'm missing a massive council event. Yeah.
Oh, well, we thank you for
Villa
your...
should be very thankful of my commitment to...
They should need
jobs there.
Well, let's hope, you know, everything works out well, and you've...
I haven't figured out anything after.
Doggo.
Yes, Freya's Doggo, I think.
But I can't see Doggo.
Did we all hear that?
Yeah.
We all heard Doggo.
Yeah. There's building works out the front, and they've, you know, when they put the temporary boards over the road, so every time a car goes over, but that was quite a "I will protect you" bark. So I don't quite know what he's heard. Hopefully there's no one breaking in. If I suddenly disappear, you'll know why. But it's okay because we're at the end of the podcast anyway. So I will go check on the dog. But yes, no. So
abducted live rather than after the podcast.
That's true.
In for your entertainment. Okay.
I was more thinking of like evidence. You know, clues and stuff like that. I watch a lot of, you know, I reckon I could solve it if someone abducted you live.
Okay, thank you. I won't recreate it, just in case. If we have any more views, we can try, but there we go.
What you should have done, I should have just not been on, and then I should have just like pulled you off the... It's like...
Well, that's horrendous. Never do that. That's awful. Can I just ask, are you wearing matching Villa jumpers?
No. I did. I realised that's what it looked like. Mine. These were on the. Here we go. Look, what's the word?
Promoting. Yeah.
Cool. It was when they did their whatever it was.
International
50.
Women's.
They had money off.
No, it's the Women's Week thing.
Yeah. But they had
all the women's.
And these were. This cost me like £10.
Nice.
Oh wow!
They've still got the zipped version and the head version. Thank you very
They
much.
are actually different colours as well.
Mine is black.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, mine's blue.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, they have different colours. My mum's got
anniversary maroon hoodies but they're out of stock, and so apparently they're not restocking them, which makes no sense.
That's annoying.
Nothing's as good.
Hey, letter needs to go in. I'm just looking forward to end of season, everything being half price and below, and then I can restock all my stuff because my Villa joggers, they've all started to peel now. So a bit tacky, which we can't have, can we? So yes, I'll be there. But so to round up, we're ecstatic for back-to-back wins. Absolutely buzzing. We're back to the Villa that we know and love. And no expectations for Arsenal, but if we put on a good show, we'll be happy with whatever happens. Are there any final things anyone would like to mention before we go? I can see some hands. Yes.
What about this rumor that we've approached Kaz Carney?
Yeah. So it was just a question in the chat of people being ridiculous. Yeah. So what was it? Villa have approached Karen Carney to be head of. What was it?
I'm assuming to take billiards.
Football.
Yeah, like head of women's football. I think that would be a cracking appointment.
I mean,
one of the best voices in the women's game.
Yeah.
And some people are saying, don't get her in. She's blue nose. She's this. I think someone like Karen Carney can put that aside.
Yeah.
To do a job. Like,
yeah.
Come on. I'd be over the moon if that's true. That'd be phenomenal. But yeah, agreed. Well done. Thank you for that.
I don't even know where the rumor came from though, because I only saw it in a chat.
Yeah.
I
mean, we can make it into a thing.
AI did tell me that it was true, but AI also said that.
He's the summary of the match said that Shani had assisted Kirsty's goal.
That's good of her.
Yeah.
All the way from the other side of London.
Yeah. Considering what she played on Friday night against Southampton. Wow. I mean, that's impressive. Thank you, Shani, for that.
Other than that, it was a pretty good summary.
Pretty good summary. I mean, the one key thing you want about a football game is like the players to be right.
Is that what? You broke up.
All we heard was.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh, then yes, correct. 100%, I agree.
But no, if that rumor is true, then we're more than happy for Karen Carney to come on board. Emma, your hand was raised.
Oh, I feel like we might have already said it now, but anyway, I just feel like we're going to come out fighting because we've got 2 wins under our belt back to back, and I just feel we're so positive. Like the team is very positive. They're very close. We're getting there.
We're getting there, and I think that should be the tagline of the
3
season.
games left, and we're getting there.
Okay.
A while to warm up, but
we're still here. We're getting there. Oh yeah, go on then.
Just the friendlies that we had, I think they were good.
Oh, right, that on this
Forest and Everton.
Yeah, Pat, that's what Rachel said in her.
Oh yeah, I only heard about those briefly. I've not watched the pod yet, but
yeah, for those of us who have no idea what you're talking about, what?
Rachel Daly and Millie Bright's podcast.
Yes.
Last week they said that Rachel couldn't watch the Leicester game.
No,
Liverpool game.
Yeah.
Because she had a friendly, and then since then we're like, who was the friendly with? What were they doing? They had friendlies against Nottingham Forest and Everton, and she didn't say that they won, but she implied that they were good friendlies and that morale is high. So,
I think because there was such a long, because there was the international break, and then it was FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah, they were off a while, weren't they?
It was quite a long time without.
Okay.
So that's good too. It's useful that she didn't let us have that lull after the last win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was things to actually fight for.
And you still win matches, even if they don't mean anything.
But wouldn't that have been lovely to just have a little newsletter or a little update? Just to let all supporters know what we've been getting up to in the break.
Maybe a little graphic that we all
what happened to us with our fan interaction award that we were
I can't believe Billy were up for that.
that we were nominated for?
I mean, I don't know how.
It's basically just Max in the stands with his microphone.
Oh, Max has got nothing on the
Spurs guy.
Spurs guy. We need DJ Spurs. He was good.
All right. Okay.
He was
Expand.
quite full on with his. He was in like a full tracksuit with his microphone, and he had a DJ friend, and they were going around, asking. I can't remember. At one point, he was asking a Villa fan about something, and then he definitely asked. It was like a kid, and he was like, I can't remember how but he basically was like, "Oh, you're gonna cry if you lose."
There was banter. You could understand him, which was I could never hear what
when
Max
the
was saying.
stadium channel.
No, I can't hear what.
Not a clue.
No.
But no, I'm just calling him DJ Tottenham. That's probably not his name, but yeah,
DJ Tottenham works.
proper
Okay.
London boy being like, yeah, it's good.
They had somebody else doing some sort of dance.
Oh, there was a dancing lady, and there
was
was a football person lying on
with
back doing all
tricks.
the
It was good.
I would
There's a
argue
lot going
that
on.
their fan interaction is.
I'm glad you followed that up with tricks and not just there was a football person lying down. Just sounded like did she?
Yeah, they were just managing time.
She's in the middle of the pitch, just
Sunbathing. Was that sun?
okay. So the entertainment was good. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Villa can do a lot more for fans. We've all said this. The fan zones that have disappeared and are a bit rubbish and a bit all over the place.
I do not like the new corrugated shed that we've got outside.
I mean, if you're gonna have a beautiful shed, it might as well be.
I'll put a Villa badge on it.
Yeah, we'll just put it in claret and blue, and it'll be fine. It'll fit.
The size of like a
normal TV.
No, they're not even normal TVs. They're like tablets.
We've got a job lots.
Just put their Chromebook up, like.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully, the better we do, if we get a better person in head of women's football and head of, I don't know, just can we have a head of fan interaction and do something with it?
A sponsor would be good. That'd give us money if we had a sponsor.
Sponsor would be good.
Or just a head of women's football that spends any time in the country would be
nice. Yeah, actually cares about team. Yeah, agreed. So hopefully, that position will be filled. More money will come our way, and we can continue to build the fan community as we're trying to do on this podcast. So there we go.
Sorry, you were making a nice segue to the end there, and I've interrupted you.
I really was, but you know what, Emily, it's okay. I'm used to you doing it.
Is that position one that's like publicly available knowledge, or are we gonna have to wait for Villa to tell us that they've appointed someone? Like, is it something?
What, the head of women's football?
Is that listed?
I mean, you're saying a Villa made it accessible.
No.
No.
We'll probably find out in about 3 seasons' time then, when they're leaving.
Yeah, we'll find it. I mean, ask Rich for our next podcast.
She's given us more information than the club is. So.
Yeah, I think that should just be our channel of information now. Just ask Rich, get it on the podcast, and see what comes back. We'll try and get her on this one. And we can talk all things Villa with her. But yeah, no, I think there are main points. And we'll leave it there because all of you are lovely, but we could be here forever. Talking about all of our different points. But I am incredibly grateful that you all joined me this evening. And yeah, so I'll let you go. But thank you to everyone who has been watching, listening, and watches on playback as well. You're going to see little graphics soon that tells you where to find us across all social media next Thursday at 8-ish to talk, hopefully, because it'll have been on the Wednesday, won't it? So a day later, it'll be fresh reaction to the Arsenal, hopefully, draw. Hey, what if we win?
The Arsenal draw, that'll be... No.
What if we win?
Ooh.
That'd be good. 3 on the trot. So we'll leave you with that thought, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much. Good evening. Bye.